In a busy corner of Abobo district, a few people affected by the country's violent past meet. Among them, victims, aggressors, mediators and facilitators confront their fears with the hope of finding closure. FALI SEIDOU, an ex-combatant, blames injustice to his tribe and the murder of his friends for his role in Ivory Coast post-election violence.
Even if you don't commit any crime, you live with stigma, just because you were an ex-combatant. Reconciling all sides is the only way to heal. Right now we face stigma and discrimination even if we didn't go to war.
And for those whose loss was so much greater, recovery remains a long, difficult process. Hélène Kouakou was first uprooted by the 2002 civil war from the city of Bouaké to Abidjan, only to be left devastated by the post-election violence of 2011. At the meeting, she cuts a figure of a strong character, a leader. But back home, she's overcome with grief.
I can't explain to you how my son died. When he saw me, he said, "Mum, we fled Bouaké only to be in a worse situation." He looked at me and breathed his last. On the anniversary of his death, his father died of grief. You see, I lost my son, my house, my wealth, almost everything.
Thousands have been killed in Ivory Coast 2002 civil war and the 2011 post-election violence. More than a decade after, there's still much hate and anger. A Truth and Reconciliation Commission was set up in 2014 to attempt to close these dark chapters in Ivory Coast's history. Implementing its recommendations is taking time because of how deep the divisions are in a country once considered West Africa's island of stability.
Shortly after his re-election last year, President Alassane Ouattara established a ministry devoted to reconciling Ivorians. Previously, the role of reconciliation, the healing process, and all was left in the hands of few individuals and organizations.
MAMADOU COULIBALY leads the Federation of Victims of Post-Election Violence in Ivory Coast. He says their work is made difficult by the failure of the country to appreciate how deep their divisions are.
It's a daily struggle to reconcile victims and aggressors. Our objective is to unite Ivorians to live in peace once again.
He says that's helped some to move on, but warns that in areas worse affected by the country's crisis, there's still much suspicion, mistrust, and in some cases hate among neighbors. And it's reflected in Ivory Coast politics. Many here feel unless the government invests more in confidence building and trust, the nation may not attain lasting peace, destroyed by both the 2002 civil war and the post-election violence of 2011. Ahmed Idris, Jazeera, Abidjan.